It is not just the elite that uses numerology, but the Masons, and they got the idea from Egypt, like the seven referring to the Pleiades, Jacob's ladder to the Pleiades. You see the six-pointed star? You see the five-pointed star inside a circle of protection? You see many other pointed stars as well. And as they elaborate on the symbols using masonry. Thank you.
Okay, Jesus is the Son, and I'm going to explain why. The Romans are the ones who named the days of the week. Sunday is named after sun worship, and it's after gods as well. And the gods were also planets. See, Saturday is Saturn Day. Monday is Moon Day. So the Sunday is for sun worship. And you see Jesus having a halo over his head. It's also how you see the sun gods portrayed in the Egyptian temples. He's referred to as the light of the world, and he calls himself the light of the world. He says, I walk in the light. He protests when he is taken at nighttime, saying, I walk in the light. On Christmas, we celebrate Jesus' birthday, but this is when on the sundial, the sun starts moving again on the 25th. And to the ancients, anything that wasn't moving was dead. Okay? Now we'll look at Psalm 84:11. The Lord God is a sun and shield. It's saying flat out that Jesus is the sun right there. Okay, look at Luke 23:44. I'll give you a chance to turn to it. It was now the 6th hour, and darkness came over the whole land until the 9th hour. For the sun stopped shining, and the curtain of the temple was torn in two. Jesus called out with a loud voice, Father, into your hands I commit my spirit. So you see what happened? Jesus died, the sun stopped shining. Well, no, duh, because Jesus is the sun. Okay? Now, let's look at John 8:12. When Jesus spoke again to the people, he said, I am the light of the world. Whoever follows me will never walk in darkness, but will have the light of life. Well, of course, because the sun brings light, brings life. It hits the plants, it feeds them through photosynthesis, all this good stuff, and through plants we get life, through air, and we consume plants, and animals consume plants, and we consume them. So the sun brings us the light of life. Okay. Now, if you turn the Bible to Acts 9:3. As he heard Damascus on his journey, suddenly a light from heaven flashed around him. He fell to the ground and heard a voice say, Saul, Saul, why do you persecute me? Well, of course it's a light from heaven, because Jesus is the Son. He also in German, son is S-O-N-N-E. See this Roman wordplay? These white guys is German. Okay. Now, we'll also look at 1 Thessalonians 5. But you, brothers, are not in darkness, so that this day should surprise you like a thief. You are all sons of light and sons of day. We do not belong to the night or to the darkness. So then let us not be like others who are asleep, but let us be alert and self-controlled. For those who sleep, sleep at night, and those who get drunk at night. See this? This comparison to the daytime, this implying that goodness comes with the light. Now, let's go to Hebrews 1:3. The sun is the radiance of God's glory and the exact representation of his being, sustaining all things by his powerful word. Okay, it's the radiance, the sun is radiant. Okay, now let's look at Hebrews 12:8. Therefore, since we are receiving a kingdom that cannot be shaken, let us be thankful and so worship God acceptably with reverence and awe. For our God is a consuming fire. What is the sun? A consuming fire. You think matter would last up there? It would get consumed. Water, gets sucked up toward the sun by the sun. It has to be caught in the atmosphere. It's consuming fire. So we see all these signs that Jesus is the sun. We see the halos. We see the cross with the sun behind it. We see this even in the name, Sunday. And it's the Romans who compile this Bible. And we see that they take an Egyptian bishop's book list. Okay? And Egypt is where these temples come from. We see Jesus hid from King Herod in Egypt. We see the Jews have an exodus from Egypt. And before that, they're from the Babylonian city of Ur. These pagans who worship sun deities and sun gods. Okay? Do you see Jesus quoting the Old Testament? We see the Jews. Moses is a high priest who comes out of Egypt. Okay?